The Silver Pines night was a heavy cloak, the Oregon town's old Victorian house creaking under a starless sky. In a small bedroom, Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, clutched his superhero t-shirt, jolted awake at 2:17 a.m. The digital clock's red glow cast eerie shadows across his dinosaur blanket. A faint whimper, soft but desperate, seeped through the plaster wall, pulling him from sleep. Ethan's heart raced, his small hands gripping the blanket. "Who's there?" he whispered, voice trembling in the dark. The whimper came again, sharper, like a plea. Ethan slid out of bed, bare feet cold on the hardwood floor. The sound wasn't wind or pipes. It was alive, trapped. He pressed his ear to the wall, the cool surface chilling his cheek. "Are you a doggy?" he asked, breath fogging the wallpaper. The crying paused, then resumed, more urgent, as if answering. Ethan's voice was soft, resolute. "I'll help you, I promise." Morning light flooded the kitchen, where Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair tied back, sweater cozy, flipped pancakes. Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair neat, button-up shirt crisp, poured coffee discussing weekend renovations. Ethan shuffled in, dark circles under his eyes, superhero t-shirt wrinkled. "Honey, you okay?" Olivia asked, voice warm, setting a plate before him. Ethan's voice was firm, ignoring the food. "There's a dog in my wall. He's scared." Daniel chuckled, ruffling Ethan's hair. "Buddy, old houses make weird noises." "It's just settling." Ethan's voice sharpened, fists clenched. "No, Dad, it's a real dog." "His name's Rex. He's thirsty." Olivia's voice was gentle, kneeling. "Sweetie, dogs can't live in walls." "Maybe it's a dream." Ethan's eyes welled, voice fierce. "I heard him all night. He needs me." Olivia and Daniel exchanged glances, concern flickering. The move to Silver Pines 3 weeks ago had been tough on Ethan, his vivid imagination flaring in the creaky house. Daniel's voice was calm, sipping coffee. "Tell you what, Ethan. After breakfast, we'll check your room together. Maybe it's the neighbor's dog." Ethan nodded, reluctant, his pancakes untouched, mind fixed on the desperate cries. Upstairs, Daniel stood in Ethan's room, hands on hips, scanning the faded wallpaper. "Okay, buddy, where's this sound?" Ethan pointed to the corner wall, voice urgent. "There. Rex is stuck." Daniel pressed his ear to the wall, listening for 10 minutes, hearing only distant birds. "Nothing, Ethan. Just the house." Ethan's voice cracked, tears spilling. "You don't believe me?" "He's dying." Daniel knelt, voice soft. "I believe you heard something, but walls don't hold dogs, son." Ethan's face crumpled, voice a whisper. "Rex does." "He's alone." Daniel sighed, standing. "Let's give it time, okay?" But Ethan's resolve hardened, his small hands balling into fists. He knew Rex was real, and no one else would save him. That afternoon, while Olivia folded laundry downstairs, Ethan snuck a bowl of water and crackers into his room. He placed them by the wall, voice a whisper. "I brought you stuff, Rex." "I don't know if you can reach, but I'm trying." He pressed his ear to the wall, waiting, silence stretched. Then a faint whine, weak but grateful, echoed through. Ethan's voice was fierce, tears falling. "I'll get you out, I swear." At dinner, Ethan pushed peas around his plate, silent. Olivia's voice was gentle, touching his hand. "How was kindergarten, sweetie?" Ethan's voice was flat, eyes down. "Miss Ellie asked why I drew a dog in the wall. She said I'm making it up." Daniel's voice was firm, fork pausing. "You drew what?" Ethan's voice was steady, meeting his eyes. "Rex, he's a German shepherd. He's trapped." Olivia's voice was soft, checking his forehead. "No fever. Ethan, are you okay?" Ethan's voice was sharp, pulling away. "I'm not sick." "Why won't you believe me? Rex is scared." Daniel's voice was calm, but strained. "Buddy, Dogs don't live in walls. It's impossible. Ethan's voice was fierce, standing. Not for Rex. He's real. The twist hit like a shockwave. Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress. Their neighbor knocked on the door, voice trembling, holding a faded photo. I heard Ethan talking about a dog in the wall. She handed Olivia the photo, a German shepherd, black and tan, beside Edward Larson, the house's previous owner. Edward vanished 8 months ago with his dog Luna, no one knows where. Olivia's breath caught, voice shaky. Ethan said its name is Rex. Eleanor's voice dropped, eyes wide. How could he know? Ethan's voice was resolute, clutching the photo. Because Rex told me. The room spun, the mystery of Silver Pines deepening, and Ethan's cries for Rex were the spark to unravel it. The Silver Pines morning was crisp. The Oregon town's quiet streets bathed in pale sunlight, the old Victorian house looming with secrets. In the cluttered kindergarten classroom, Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, superhero t-shirt bright, hunched over a drawing, crayons scattered. His sketch showed a German shepherd, black and tan, trapped in a gray wall, eyes wide with fear. That's Rex, he muttered, voice firm, ignoring the chatter of other kids. Miss Ellie, his teacher, knelt beside him, voice soft, brow furrowed. Ethan, why's this dog in a wall? Ethan's voice was steady, crayon pausing. He's stuck in my house. He's scared. Ellie's voice was gentle, but skeptical. Sweetie, that sounds like a story. Dogs don't live in walls. Ethan's eyes flashed, voice sharp. It's not a story. Rex needs me. Ellie frowned, voice calm. Let's draw something happy, okay? Ethan shook his head, clutching the paper, his resolve unshaken. At home, Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair tied back, sweater cozy, stirred oatmeal, voice warm. Ethan, breakfast! Ethan shuffled in, eyes heavy, superhero t-shirt wrinkled. Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair neat, button-up shirt crisp, sipped coffee, voice casual. How's school, buddy? Ethan's voice was flat, pushing his bowl away. Miss Ellie said I'm lying about Rex. She's wrong. Olivia's voice was soft, touching his hand. Honey, we checked the wall. There's nothing there. Ethan's voice cracked, tears welling. You don't believe me either. Rex is thirsty. He's dying. Daniel's voice was firm, setting his mug down. Ethan, old houses creak, it's not a dog. Ethan's voice was fierce, standing. It's Rex. I hear him every night. Olivia's voice was tense, glancing at Daniel. Sweetie, maybe it's a dream. Ethan's voice was raw, running upstairs. I'll save him myself. In his room, Ethan pressed his ear to the wall, voice a whisper. Rex, I'm here. A faint whimper answered, weak but desperate, seeping through the plaster. Ethan's heart raced, voice urgent. Hold on, boy. I won't give up. He grabbed a juice box, poking the straw into a crack, voice soft. Drink this, okay? The whimper softened, as if grateful, fueling Ethan's determination. Downstairs, Olivia's voice was shaky, holding Eleanor's photo of Edward Larson and his German shepherd. Daniel, Ethan knew the dog's name. How? Daniel's voice was gruff, rubbing his neck. Coincidence, Liv. Kids imagine things. Olivia's voice was sharp, eyes narrowing. He said Rex, not Luna. Eleanor said Edward was troubled. What if something happened? Daniel's voice was tense, standing. You're buying into this. It's impossible. Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress, lingered at the door, voice low. Edward stopped taking his meds, talked about spies, said Luna was watching him. Olivia's voice was urgent, clutching the photo. Did he hurt her? Eleanor's voice trembled, eyes distant. I don't know. He vanished, and so did she. Daniel's voice was skeptical, arms crossed. So Ethan's hearing a ghost dog now? Ethan's voice rang from the stairs, fierce, holding a crayon drawing of Rex. He's not a ghost. He's alive. The tension spiked, the room electric. Olivia knelt, voice soft, studying the drawing. Ethan, how do you know his name? Ethan's voice was steady, eyes burning. He told me. Rex is scared. Mom. He's trapped. Daniel's voice was strained, stepping forward. Buddy, walls don't hold dogs. Let's check again, okay? Ethan's voice was resolute, nodding. You'll see. In Ethan's room, Daniel pressed his ear to the corner wall, flashlight in hand, voice calm. Nothing, Ethan. Rex's whimper came, faint but clear, a desperate plea. Ethan's voice was urgent, pointing. There, hear him? Daniel froze, face paling, voice low. That's something. Olivia's voice was sharp, kneeling. It's real, Daniel! Rex's whine grew louder, claws scratching faintly, a trapped soul begging for release. The twist hit like a thunderclap. Sarah Walsh, 42, auburn hair, police uniform crisp, knocked on the door, voice urgent, holding a file. I looked into Edward Larson. He was paranoid, hospitalized twice. His last journal mentioned silencing the spy, his dog. Olivia's voice was horrified, clutching Ethan. He sealed Luna in the wall? Sarah's voice was grim, nodding. Maybe. We're searching his records. Ethan's voice was fierce, tears falling, clutching his drawing. It's Rex. He's alive, and I'm saving him. The room spun, the mystery of Silver Pines deepening, and Ethan's unwavering bond with Rex was the spark to unravel it. The Silver Pines morning was draped in a damp Oregon mist. The town's quiet streets hushed, the old Victorian house looming like a keeper of buried truths. In the cluttered kitchen, Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair tied back, sweater cozy, poured orange juice, her hands unsteady. Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair neat, button-up shirt crisp, scrolled through his phone, voice tense. Sarah's digging into Edward Larson's records, says he was unhinged. Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, superhero t-shirt bright, sat at the table, crayon in hand, drawing Rex, a German shepherd, black and tan, trapped in a gray wall. His voice was soft, eyes fixed on the paper. Rex is weaker today. He's hungry. Olivia's voice was gentle, setting a plate of toast before him. Ethan, we heard something last night. We're trying to help. Ethan's voice was sharp, crayon pausing. You didn't believe me before. Rex needs me now. Daniel's voice was firm, glancing up. Buddy, we're checking the wall today. I promise. Ethan's eyes flickered, voice low. He's scared, Dad. Don't let him die. Upstairs, Ethan pressed his ear to the bedroom wall, voice a whisper. Rex, I'm here. A faint whimper answered, weaker than before, seeping through the plaster. Ethan's heart raced, voice urgent. Hold on, boy. I brought crackers. He pushed crumbs into a crack, voice trembling. Eat, okay? The whimper softened, a fragile thread of hope fueling Ethan's resolve. In the living room, Detective Sarah Walsh, 42, auburn hair, police uniform crisp, spread files on the coffee table, voice grim. Edward Larson was diagnosed with schizophrenia. His last journal said he'd silenced the spy, his dog Luna. Olivia's voice was shaky, clutching a photo of Edward and the German shepherd. He sealed her in the wall? Sarah's voice was tense, nodding. Looks like it. The house was renovated before you bought it. Could have hidden a false wall. Daniel's voice was skeptical, arms crossed. A dog surviving months in a wall. That's impossible. Ethan's voice rang from the doorway, fierce, holding his drawing. It's Rex! He's alive! Olivia knelt, voice soft, studying the sketch. Ethan, how do you know it's Rex, not Luna? Ethan's voice was steady, eyes burning. He told me. He's big, brown and black with pointy ears. Sarah's voice was sharp, standing. That matches Luna's description. How's he knowing this? Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress, lingered nearby, voice trembling. Edward talked to walls, said Luna was spying. I should have reported him. Daniel's voice was gruff, turning. Why didn't you? Eleanor's voice broke, tears falling. I was scared. He was family, my nephew. Olivia's voice was stunned, stepping back. Your nephew? Eleanor's voice was faint, clutching her scarf. I failed him. And Luna, the room spun, tension electric. Sarah's voice was urgent, opening a file. The renovation crew sealed the basement last year. If there's a false wall, it's there. Ethan's voice was resolute, tugging Daniel's hand. Let's find Rex. He's in the basement. Daniel's voice was tense, nodding. Okay, buddy, let's check. Olivia's voice was shaky, grabbing a flashlight. I'm coming too. The basement stairs creaked, the air damp and cold, the concrete walls gleaming under flickering lights. Ethan pointed to a corner, voice urgent. There! Rex is there! Daniel knelt, running a stud finder along the wall, voice low. This section's off. Too solid. Rex's whimper came, faint but desperate, claws scratching weakly. Olivia's voice was sharp, kneeling beside Ethan. It's real, Daniel. Sarah's voice was tense, shining her flashlight. That's no pipe. Something's alive. Daniel grabbed a hammer, voice grim. Stand back. He tapped the wall, the sound hollow, then solid. Rex's whine grew louder, a plea for salvation. Ethan's voice was frantic, clutching Olivia's hand. Hurry, Dad, he's fading. Sarah's voice was urgent, pulling out her radio. I'm calling for backup. This is a crime scene. Claren Gwynn, 40, black hair, veterinarian's blouse, arrived, voice calm but firm. If there's a dog, I need to be ready. He'll need immediate care. The hammer struck, dust flying, the wall cracking. Rex's whimper spiked, claws frantic. Daniel's voice was strained, prying at the concrete. There's a cavity. Olivia's voice was choked, tears falling. Ethan was right. Ethan's voice was fierce, stepping forward. Rex, we're coming. Clara's voice was urgent, preparing a medical kit. If he's alive, he's critical. No sudden moves. The twist hit like a thunderclap. Nathan Brooks, 30, blonde hair, tailored vest, the real estate agent who sold the house, burst in, voice shaky, clutching a journal. I found this in the attic. Edward's last entry. He built the wall to trap Luna, thought she was a government spy. Sarah's voice was sharp, grabbing the journal. You knew? And sold the house anyway? Nathan's voice cracked, tears falling. I hid it to close the deal. I didn't think it was real. Daniel's voice roared, hammer raised. You left a dog to die? Rex's whine pierced the air, amber eyes glinting through a crack, a living ghost demanding rescue. Ethan's voice was resolute, tears streaming. Rex, we're here! The basement hummed with urgency, the mystery of Silver Pines unraveling, and Ethan's unbreakable bond with Rex was the spark to ignite the truth. The Silver Pines dusk was a heavy veil, the Oregon town streets cloaked in fog, the old Victorian house a silent keeper of horrors. In the basement, the air was damp and cold, concrete walls gleaming under flickering lights, the scent of dust and decay thick. Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, superhero t-shirt bright, stood clutching a stuffed dinosaur, his heart pounding. Rex, the German shepherd, black and tan, trapped behind a false wall, let out a faint whimper, claws scratching weakly, a desperate plea for freedom. Ethan's voice was soft, trembling. We're here, Rex. Don't give up. Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair tied back, sweater cozy, knelt beside Ethan, voice shaky, flashlight trembling. "He's alive, Daniel." Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair neat, button-up shirt creased, swung a sledgehammer, voice strained, sweat beading. "This wall's solid, but there's a cavity." The concrete cracked, dust swirling, Rex's whimpers growing louder, more urgent. Detective Sarah Walsh, 42, auburn hair, police uniform crisp, stood by, voice tense, radio crackling. "Backup's coming." This is a crime scene. Dr. Clara Nguyen, 40, black hair, veterinarian's blouse, prepared a medical kit, voice calm but urgent. If Rex is in there, he's critical. "I need space." Ethan's voice was fierce, clutching Olivia's hand. "Hurry, Dad. Rex is fading." Daniel's hammer struck harder, chunks of concrete falling, revealing a narrow chamber. Rex's whine pierced the air, a skeletal form barely visible, matted fur clinging to bones. Olivia's voice choked, tears falling. "Oh my God, Ethan was right." Sarah's voice was sharp, shining her flashlight. "That's a German shepherd. How's he alive?" Clara's voice was grim, kneeling by the opening. "Ventilation, maybe rainwater." "He's emaciated." Ethan's voice was frantic, stepping forward. "Rex, it's me. We're saving you." Daniel's voice was raw, prying at the wall. "It's too tight. He can't fit through." Rex's amber eyes glinted, weak but alive, a warrior clinging to hope. Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress, hovered at the stairs, voice trembling. "Edward built that wall. His journals said he'd silence Luna." Olivia's voice was horrified, turning. "Your nephew did this?" Eleanor's voice broke, tears spilling. "He was sick, paranoid. I should have stopped him." Sarah's voice was cold, stepping forward. "You knew and stayed quiet?" Eleanor's voice was faint, clutching her scarf. "I thought he'd hurt himself, not her." Nathan Brooks, 30, blonde hair, tailored vest, the real estate agent, lingered behind, voice shaky, holding another journal. "I found more in the attic. Edward planned it, sealed Luna to stop her spying." Daniel's voice roared, hammer raised. "You hid this to sell the house?" Nathan's voice cracked, stepping back. "I didn't believe it. I thought it was ramblings." Ethan's voice was fierce, tears streaming. "You left Rex to die." The tension surged, the basement a pressure cooker. Clara's voice was urgent, peering into the chamber. "Rex needs fluids now." "We can't wait." Sarah's voice was sharp, radio raised. "Get a demolition crew here." Daniel's voice was desperate, swinging again. "I'm not stopping." The wall crumbled further, revealing a tiny vent, barely enough for air. Rex's whine weakened, his body still, amber eyes flickering. Ethan's voice was frantic, dropping his dinosaur. "Rex, please. Stay with me." Olivia's voice was choked, pulling Ethan close. "He's fighting, baby." Clara's voice was steady, threading an IV through the gap. "I'm stabilizing him, but he's critical." Sarah's voice was tense, scanning the journal. "Edward wrote about a safe place for Luna. This wasn't an accident." Ethan's voice was soft, kneeling by the hole. "Rex says he's sorry. He didn't mean to scare the bad man." Olivia's voice was stunned, stroking his hair. "What, sweetie?" Ethan's voice was clear, eyes fixed on Rex. "He says his name was Luna, but he likes Rex better." The twist hit like a thunderclap. Sarah's radio crackled, a deputy's voice, urgent. "Found renovation records, Walsh. The crew knew about the wall, signed off by Global Haven, a shady contractor. They covered it up." Sarah's voice was sharp, turning to Nathan. "You worked with them, didn't you?" Nathan's voice broke, tears falling, hands raised. "I didn't know about the dog. They paid me to rush the sale, said it was standard." Daniel's voice was venomous, hammer raised. "You buried Rex for a paycheck?" Clara's voice cut through, urgent, adjusting the IV. Rex's heart rate's dropping. We need to get him out now. Daniel's voice was raw, smashing the wall, concrete flying. I'm almost there. Ethan's voice was fierce, leaning close to the hole. Rex, you're strong. I love you. Rex's whine answered, faint but defiant. His amber eyes locked on Ethan, a bond defying logic. Olivia's voice was choked, tears streaming. He's listening to you, Ethan. Sarah's voice was resolute, grabbing her phone. I'm raiding Global Haven's office. This ends tonight. The basement pulsed with urgency, Rex's fragile life hanging by a thread, and Ethan's unyielding love was the spark to shatter the lies of Silver Pines. The Silver Pines basement was a cold, damp tomb, the Oregon night pressing against the old Victorian house like a shroud. Flickering bulbs cast jagged shadows on the concrete walls, the air thick with dust and desperation. Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, superhero t-shirt bright, stood clutching his stuffed dinosaur, tears streaming down his face. Rex, the German shepherd, black and tan, trapped in a hidden chamber, let out a frail whimper, his emaciated form barely moving, amber eyes glinting through a crack. Ethan's voice was raw, trembling. Rex, don't leave me. Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair tied back, sweater soaked with sweat, knelt beside Ethan, voice choked, flashlight shaking. He's still here, baby. Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair matted, button-up shirt torn, swung a sledgehammer, voice hoarse, muscles straining. This wall's coming down. Concrete shattered, chunks flying, Rex's whimpers growing fainter, claws scraping weakly. Detective Sarah Walsh, 42, auburn hair, police uniform creased, stood by, voice sharp, radio crackling. Demolition crews 10 minutes out. Dr. Clara Nguyen, 40, black hair, veterinarian's blouse, worked frantically, voice urgent, threading an IV through the narrow opening. Rex's heart rate's crashing. We need him out now. Ethan's voice was fierce, stepping closer, dinosaur dropping. Rex, I'm here. You're strong. Daniel's hammer struck harder, the false wall crumbling, revealing a crude chamber, barely a coffin, with a tiny vent for air. Rex's body was skeletal, fur matted, but his amber eyes locked on Ethan, a flicker of life. Olivia's voice was horrified, tears falling. How did he survive? Clara's voice was grim, adjusting the IV. Rainwater, minimal air, he's a miracle. Sarah's voice was tense, shining her flashlight. Edward Larson built this to kill him. His journals prove it. Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress, hovered at the stairs, voice trembling. My nephew was sick. I should have known, Daniel's voice roared, hammer pausing. You let this happen, Eleanor. Nathan Brooks, 30, blonde hair, tailored vest, stood frozen, voice shaky, clutching a renovation log. Global Haven paid me to ignore the wall. I thought it was empty. Sarah's voice was cold, turning. You buried a living dog for a deal? Nathan's voice cracked, tears spilling. I didn't know. I swear. Ethan's voice was fierce, glaring at Nathan. You hurt Rex. Rex's whine spiked, weak but defiant, his claws scratching, a warrior clinging to Ethan's voice. The basement pulsed with urgency, dust choking the air. Daniel's voice was desperate, smashing the wall. I'm through. The chamber opened, Rex's frail body fully exposed, ribs stark, sores bleeding. Clara's voice was sharp, crawling in. He's critical. Fluids now. Ethan's voice was frantic, leaning forward. Rex, look at me. You're safe. Olivia's voice was choked, pulling Ethan back. Let Clara work, baby. Rex's amber eyes flickered, focusing on Ethan, a bond defying death. Sarah's voice was urgent, radio raised. Get the crew here now. Daniel's voice was raw, helping Clara lift Rex onto a blanket, his body limp, barely breathing. He's so light, he whispered, tears falling. Clara's voice was steady, administering oxygen. He's fighting, but it's touch and go. Ethan's voice was soft, kneeling by Rex, stroking his matted fur. You're my best friend, Rex. Don't go. Rex's tail twitched, a faint thump as if answering, his amber eyes never leaving Ethan. Eleanor's voice was faint, clutching her scarf. Edward wrote about silencing Luna. I thought he meant leaving her somewhere. Sarah's voice was sharp, flipping through the journal. He meant this tomb. He was paranoid, thought she was a spy. Olivia's voice was stunned, holding Ethan close. How did Ethan know his name was Rex? Ethan's voice was clear, eyes fixed on the dog. He told me. He likes Rex better than Luna. He's sorry he scared the bad man. The twist hit like a thunderbolt. Clara's voice roared, examining Rex's sores, her hands shaking. These marks, chemical burns. Someone doused him before sealing the wall. Sarah's voice was fierce, turning to Nathan. Global Haven's crew did this, didn't they? Nathan's voice broke, collapsing to his knees, tears streaming. I overheard them joking about cleaning up Edward's mess. I didn't know it was a dog. I thought it was trash. Daniel's voice was venomous, hammer raised. You let them burn him alive? Sarah's voice was sharp, cuffing Nathan. You're coming with me. Clara's voice was urgent, stabilizing Rex. He's responding to the fluids, but we need my clinic now. Ethan's voice was fierce, stroking Rex's head. You're gonna be okay, Rex. I love you. Rex's whine was faint, his amber eyes locked on Ethan, a warrior drawing strength from a child's love. Olivia's voice was choked, tears falling. He's fighting for you, Ethan. The payback hit with a chuckle. Nathan, sobbing, tripped over a concrete chunk, sprawling into a pile of debris, the crew smirking. Sarah's voice was dry, hauling him up. Nice one, Brooks. Daniel's voice was resolute, lifting Rex's stretcher with Clara. Let's move. Ethan's voice was steady, clutching his dinosaur, walking beside Rex. I'm with you, boy. Sirens wailed outside, the demolition crew arriving. But Rex's fragile life hung in the balance, and Ethan's unyielding bond was the spark to ignite Silver Pine's reckoning. The Silver Pine's morning was a fragile veil, the Oregon town's quiet streets cloaked in a lingering chill, the old Victorian house now a beacon of uncovered horrors. Inside, Dr. Clara Nguyen's veterinary clinic, the air was sharp with antiseptic and hope, monitors beeping steadily. Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, superhero t-shirt faded, sat beside a treatment table, his small hand resting on Rex, the German shepherd, black and tan coat matted, bandages covering sores. Rex's amber eyes, sunken but fierce, followed Ethan, a faint whine escaping. Ethan's voice was soft, trembling. You're safe now, Rex. I kept my promise. Clara Nguyen, 40, black hair tied back, veterinarian's blouse crisp, adjusted an IV, voice calm but urgent. He's stabilizing Ethan, his heart stronger. Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair loose, sweater worn, stood nearby, voice shaky, clutching Ethan's stuffed dinosaur. He's a miracle, Clara. How's he still fighting? Clara's voice was steady, checking Rex's vitals. He's drawing strength from Ethan. I've never seen a bond like this. Daniel Bennett, 38, brown-haired, disheveled, button-up shirt wrinkled, paced the room, voice tense. Sarah's raiding Global Haven's office. They burned Rex before sealing him in. Ethan's voice was fierce, stroking Rex's head. They hurt you, but you're brave, Rex. Rex's tail twitched, a weak thump. His amber eyes locked on Ethan, a warrior tethered to a child's love. Olivia's voice was choked, tears falling. He's listening to you, baby. Detective Sarah Walsh, 42, auburn hair, police uniform creased, burst in, voice sharp, holding a scorched ledger. Found this at Global Haven's warehouse, payment logs for Edward's renovation. They knew about the wall. Daniel's voice was raw, turning. They paid to bury Rex alive? Sarah's voice was grim, nodding. And more. Global Haven's tied to animal trafficking, dogs, exotic pets, you name it. Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress, lingered at the door, voice trembling, clutching a faded photo of Edward and Luna. I should have seen Edward's sickness. He wrote about silencing her. Olivia's voice was sharp, stepping forward. You hid his journals, Eleanor. Why? Eleanor's voice broke, tears spilling. He was my nephew. I thought he'd hurt himself, not Luna. Ethan's voice was soft, looking at Rex. He's Rex now. He forgives you. The clinic hummed with tension, Rex's monitors beeping faster. Clara's voice was urgent, checking the IV. His pressure's dropping. We need to move him to ICU. Ethan's voice was frantic, gripping Rex's paw. Don't go, Rex. You're my best friend. Rex's whine was faint, his amber eyes flickering as if drawing strength from Ethan's plea. Daniel's voice was choked, kneeling beside Ethan. He's fighting, buddy, for you. Sarah's voice was resolute, flipping through the ledger. Global Haven's boss, Victor Ramsey, signed these. He's in Portland, shredding evidence tonight. Olivia's voice was tense, standing. We're stopping him. Daniel's voice was firm, nodding. I'm in. For Rex. Ethan's voice was clear, looking at Clara. Rex says he knows where the bad man went, a place with big trees. Sarah's voice was sharp, turning. Big trees? Edward walked Luna in Pinewood Forest, is that it? Ethan's voice was steady, eyes distant, as if hearing Rex. Yes, Rex saw the bad man there, crying, before he went away. Clara's voice was stunned, pausing her work. How does he know that? Olivia's voice was shaky, holding Ethan close. He's always known things, when my mom fell, when storms hit. But this... Daniel's voice was grim, standing. He's right about Rex. I'm not doubting him again. The plot twist hit like a shockwave. Nathan Brooks, 30, blonde hair, tailored vest, stumbled in, voice raw, clutching a USB drive. I worked for Global Haven, Sarah. They paid me to hide Edward's journals, said it was just a crazy guy's rants. Sarah's voice was cold, grabbing the drive. You helped them traffic animals? Nathan's voice broke, tears streaming, falling to his knees. I didn't know about Rex. I thought it was paperwork. This drive, it's Ramsey's client list, proof of everything. Daniel's voice roared, fist clenched. You sold out Rex for cash. Ethan's voice was fierce, glaring at Nathan. You hurt my friend. Rex's growl was weak but defiant, his amber eyes narrowing, as if judging Nathan. Clara's voice was sharp, stabilizing Rex. He's reacting to Ethan's anger. Calm down, all of you. Sarah's voice was resolute, pocketing the drive. Nathan, you're coming with me. We're hitting Ramsey's hideout. The clinic door swung open, a deputy's voice, urgent. Walsh, we found Edward's car in Pinewood Forest, abandoned, with a suicide note. He's been dead for months. Sarah's voice was grim, turning to Ethan. You knew, didn't you? Rex told you. Ethan's voice was soft, stroking Rex's fur. He showed me pictures in my head. The bad man was sad, then he stopped moving. Olivia's voice was choked, tears falling. He's seeing through Rex's memories? Daniel's voice was tense, grabbing his coat. We're going to that forest. If Rex saw something, there's more to find. Clara's voice was urgent, adjusting Rex's oxygen. I'm staying with him. Ethan, keep talking to him. He's fighting for you. Ethan's voice was steady, leaning close to Rex. You're my hero, Rex. Show us where to go. Rex's whine was faint, his amber eyes fierce as if guiding them from the brink of death. Sarah's voice was sharp, leading the way. "Pinewood's 10 miles out. Let's move." Olivia's voice was resolute, kissing Ethan's forehead. "Stay with Clara, baby. We'll save Rex's friends." Ethan's voice was fierce, clutching Rex's paw. "Find the bad man's secrets, Mom. Rex trusts you." Daniel's voice was choked, ruffling Ethan's hair. "We will, buddy." The payback hit with a chuckle. Nathan, sobbing, tripped over a clinic chair, sprawling into a pile of medical supplies, Clara smirking. "Watch your step, Brooks." They raced into the fog, Pinewood Forest looming, its towering pines hiding Edward's final act. At the clinic, Ethan sat vigil, voice soft, whispering to Rex. "Show them, boy. I know you can." Rex's tail thumped weakly, his amber eyes blazing, a warrior's spirit guiding the hunt. The conspiracy gripping Silver Pines was unraveling, but a faint whisper from Ethan, "Rex says there's another dog," hinted at a deeper darkness, and his unbreakable bond with Rex was the spark to chase it. The Silver Pines' dusk was a heavy shroud, the Oregon fog weaving through Pinewood Forest's towering pines, their shadows cloaking secrets. Inside Dr. Clara Nguyen's veterinary clinic, the air was sharp with antiseptic, monitors beeping faintly. Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, superhero t-shirt faded, sat beside Rex, the German shepherd, black and tan coat matted, bandages covering chemical burns. Rex's amber eyes, weak but fierce, followed Ethan, a soft whine escaping. Ethan's voice was tender, stroking Rex's paw. "You're my hero, Rex. Show them the bad man's secrets." Clara Nguyen, 40, black hair tied back, veterinarian's blouse, crisp, checked Rex's IV, voice steady but urgent. "He's holding on, Ethan. His vitals are improving." Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair loose, sweater worn, stood nearby, voice shaky, clutching Ethan's stuffed dinosaur. "He's fighting for you, baby." Ethan's voice was fierce, eyes fixed on Rex. "He's telling me about another dog, trapped like him." Clara's voice was stunned, pausing. "Another? Where?" "In Pinewood Forest." Detective Sarah Walsh, 42, auburn hair, police uniform creased, led a search team, flashlight cutting through the fog. Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair disheveled, button-up shirt torn, followed, voice tense, gripping a scorched ledger from Global Haven. "Ethan said Edward was here crying. We found his car. Suicide note inside." Sarah's voice was grim, scanning the trees. "If Rex showed Ethan this place, there's more." A deputy's voice crackled through her radio, urgent. "Found a hidden cache, journals, photos, and a USB labeled Haven Ops." Sarah's voice was sharp, kneeling by a buried metal box. "This is Edwards." He was paranoid but connected. Daniel's voice was raw, opening a journal. He wrote about Global Haven, said they paid him to test chemicals on Luna. Sarah's voice was fierce, pocketing the USB. They used his sickness to cover their tracks. "Victor Ramsey's running this." Daniel's voice was resolute, standing. "We're hitting their Portland warehouse tonight." Back at the clinic, Ethan's voice was soft, whispering to Rex. "You saw the bad man in the forest, didn't you?" Rex's whine was faint, his amber eyes distant, as if sharing a memory. Olivia's voice was choked, kneeling beside Ethan. "What's he saying, sweetie?" Ethan's voice was clear, eyes wide. "There's a building with a red door, near water. Dogs are crying there." Clara's voice was tense, grabbing her phone. "That sounds like the old cannery district." "I'm calling Sarah." The FBI van roared through Portland's docklands, the cannery a rusted fortress under flickering lights, Global Haven's triangle logo scarred on its walls. Sarah clutched the USB, voice low, leading Daniel and a tactical team. Ramsey's shredding evidence. We move fast. Daniel's voice was grim, gripping a flashlight for Rex and Ethan. The team breached the door, air thick with oil and decay. Sarah's voice was a hiss, gun raised. Clear! Footsteps echoed, leading to a steel vault, logo gleaming. Daniel's voice was urgent, shining as light. This is it. Nathan Brooks, 30, blonde hair, tailored vest, now in custody, stood cuffed, voice shaky, entering codes. I got Ramsey's access from their server. I'm done hiding. The vault opened, revealing servers, cages, and a tape. Haven orders. Sarah's voice was sharp, loading it. This names their head. Clara's voice crackled through Sarah's radio, frantic from the clinic. Ethan says there's a red door. Dogs are trapped inside. Daniel's heart pounded, voice low, grabbing a drive labeled Global Ops. Ethan's guiding us. Footsteps thundered, heavy, deliberate. Sarah's voice was a hiss, gun raised. Down! A shadow moved, and Victor Ramsey, 50, gray hair slick, black suit pristine, emerged, pistol glinting, voice cold. You're trespassers, Walsh. 10 enforcers flanked him, rifles raised, faces masked. Nathan's voice cracked, stepping forward. You used Edward, Ramsey. Tortured Rex for your experiments. Ramsey's laugh was icy, voice calm. The dog was collateral. Haven's global, your ants. Sarah's voice was fierce, aiming at Ramsey. You're done, Victor. Daniel's voice was raw, clutching the tape. This exposes your animal trafficking. Rex's presence, though miles away, pulsed through Ethan's words, guiding their fight. An enforcer lunged, but Sarah fired a warning shot, voice roaring. Stand down! Nathan's voice was desperate, dodging a rifle. I'm making this right. The enforcers hesitated, but Ramsey's voice was shrill, raising his pistol. Kill them! The twist hit like a thunderbolt. Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress burst through a side door, voice raw, wielding a journal. I worked for Global Haven, Sarah, processed their payments to hide Edward's experiments. Sarah's voice was stunned, gun wavering. You helped them torture animals? Eleanor's tears fell, voice breaking. They threatened my family. I leaked Edward's journals to Olivia to stop them. Daniel's voice was sharp, stepping forward. You knew about Rex and stayed silent? Eleanor's voice was fierce, tossing the journal. This names their clients, Ramsey's bosses. I'm done hiding. Rex's influence, channeled through Ethan, had stirred Eleanor's conscience. Sarah's voice was resolute, cuffing an enforcer. She's clean, Daniel. She's our insider. The journal landed, pages spilling, revealing a list of Global Haven's network, names, dates, payments for animal cruelty. Daniel's voice was urgent, grabbing it. This nails them! Ramsey's voice was desperate, firing at Sarah, the bullet grazing her arm. You're dead! Nathan dove, tackling an enforcer, voice raw. No more! Sarah's voice was fierce, returning fire, wounding Ramsey's leg. Drop it! FBI agents stormed in, sirens screaming, lights flooding the cannery. Daniel's voice was sharp, bagging the drive. We've got Ramsey! The enforcers dropped their weapons, hands raised, the vault's cages rattling with trapped dogs, their whines echoing Ethan's vision. The payback hit with a chuckle. Ramsey, limping, slipped on spilled oil, sprawling into a pile of rusted crates, agents smirking. Nathan's voice was dry, filming. Nice move, boss. Back at the clinic, Ethan's voice was soft, stroking Rex's fur. You did it, Rex. You showed them. Rex's whine was stronger, his amber eyes fierce, a warrior's spirit guiding the rescue. Clara's voice was choked, tears falling. His vitals are spiking. He's responding to you, Ethan. Olivia's voice was resolute, kissing Ethan's forehead. You saved him, baby. Ethan's voice was clear, eyes distant. "Rex says the other dogs are scared, but they're free now." Sarah's radio crackled, a deputy's voice urgent. "Walsh, we've got 20 dogs, cages, labs, the works. Global Haven's done." Daniel's voice was grim, returning to the clinic, clutching the journal. Ramsey's talking. "Named a bigger player. Global Rescue." Ethan's voice was fierce, looking at Rex. "We'll find them, boy. I promise." Rex's tail thumped, his amber eyes blazing, a bond defying logic. The conspiracy gripping Silver Pines was crumbling, but a faint whisper from Ethan, "Rex sees a girl with the dogs," hinted at a deeper shadow, and their unbreakable connection was the spark to chase it. The Silver Pines night was a suffocating fog, the Oregon town's quiet streets swallowed by mist, the old cannery district a shadowed maze of rust and secrets. Inside ducked Clara Nguyen's veterinary clinic, the air was sharp with antiseptic, monitors beeping faintly. Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, superhero t-shirt faded, sat vigil beside Rex, the German shepherd, black and tan coat scarred, bandages covering chemical burns. Rex's amber eyes, weak but piercing, followed Ethan, a soft whine escaping. Ethan's voice was tender, stroking Rex's paw. "You showed them the bad place, Rex. You're my hero." Clara Nguyen, 40, black hair tied back, veterinarian's blouse crisp, adjusted Rex's IV, voice steady but urgent. "He's gaining strength, Ethan. His heart's fighting." Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair loose, sweater worn, stood nearby, voice shaky, clutching Ethan's stuffed dinosaur. "He's alive because of you, baby." Ethan's voice was fierce, eyes fixed on Rex. "He says there's a girl with the dogs. She's scared." Clara's voice was stunned, pausing. "A girl? How does he know?" In Portland's Cannery District, Detective Sarah Walsh, 42, auburn hair, police uniform blood-streaked from a graze, led an FBI raid, flashlight cutting through the fog. Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair disheveled, button-up shirt torn, followed, voice tense, gripping a scorched USB labeled Haven Ops. Ethan's vision, red door, dogs crying, "It's here." Sarah's voice was grim, scanning the rusted cannery, Global Haven's triangle logo scarred on its walls. Ramsey's locked in that vault, shredding evidence. Nathan Brooks, 30, blonde hair, tailored vest now ripped, stood cuffed, voice raw, entering codes. "I stole Ramsey's access to make this right." The vault door groaned open, revealing servers, cages, and a tape. "Haven Directive." Sarah's voice was sharp, loading it. "This names their global head." Daniel's voice was urgent, grabbing a drive labeled Global Rescue. "Ethan's guiding us through Rex." A deputy's voice crackled through Sarah's radio, frantic. "Walsh, we've got movement, mercenaries armed." Footsteps thundered, heavy, deliberate. Sarah's voice was a hiss, gun raised. "Down!" Shadows moved, and Victor Ramsey, 50, gray hair slick, black suit torn, emerged, revolver glinting, voice cold. "You're dead, Walsh." 12 enforcers flanked him, rifles raised, faces masked. Nathan's voice cracked, stepping forward. "You tortured Rex, Ramsey." "Ran Global Haven's animal labs." Ramsey's laugh was chilling, voice calm. "The dog was a test. Haven's empire, your dust." Sarah's voice was fierce, aiming at Ramsey. "Drop it, Victor." Daniel's voice was raw, clutching the tape. "This ends your trafficking ring." Rex's presence, channeled through Ethan's visions, pulsed through their resolve. An enforcer lunged, but Sarah fired, wounding his shoulder, voice roaring. "Stand down!" Nathan's voice was desperate, dodging a rifle. "I'm done with your lies!" The enforcers hesitated, but Ramsey's voice was shrill, firing at Sarah. "Kill them all!" The twist hit like a thunderbolt. A child's cry echoed from a side room, piercing the chaos. Sarah's voice was stunned, gun wavering. A kid's here? Daniel's voice was sharp, flashlight swinging. Ethan said a girl. A small figure darted from the shadows. Sophie Reed, 8 dark braids, pink coat torn, voice trembling. Don't hurt the dogs! Ramsey's voice was venomous, grabbing her arm. Shut up, Sophie! Sarah's voice was fierce, aiming at Ramsey. Let her go! Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress, burst through a rear door, voice raw, wielding a ledger. I funded Global Haven, Sarah, laundered their money to protect Edward. Sarah's voice was stunned, turning. You bankrolled animal cruelty? Eleanor's tears fell, voice breaking. They blackmailed me. I leaked the ledger to Olivia to stop them. Daniel's voice was sharp, stepping forward. You let Rex suffer? Eleanor's voice was fierce, tossing the ledger. This names their global clients. I'm done. Sophie's voice was frantic, pulling free, running to a cage where a malnourished puppy whined. Hope needs help. Sarah's voice was urgent, cuffing an enforcer. Eleanor's clean. She's our insider. The ledger spilled, revealing names, politicians, CEOs, tied to Global Haven's animal trafficking. Daniel's voice was resolute, grabbing it. This buries them. Rex's influence through Ethan had stirred Eleanor's redemption and Sophie's courage. Back at the clinic, Ethan's voice was soft, whispering to Rex. The girl's okay, isn't she? Rex's whine was stronger, his amber eyes distant, as if sharing Sophie's fear. Clara's voice was choked, tears falling. His vitals spiked. He's reacting to you, Ethan. Olivia's voice was tense, kneeling. What's he saying, sweetie? Ethan's voice was clear, eyes wide. Sophie gave the dogs water. She's hiding from the bad man, her dad. Clara's voice was sharp, grabbing her phone. Ramsey's daughter? I'm telling Sarah. Ramsey's voice was desperate, firing again, the bullet grazing Daniel's arm. You'll never leave. Sophie's voice was fierce, kicking his shin. Let them go. Nathan dove, tackling Ramsey, voice raw. No more. Sarah's voice was sharp, wounding Ramsey's leg. Drop it. FBI agents stormed in, sirens screaming, lights flooding the cannery. Daniel's voice was urgent, freeing caged dogs, their whines echoing. We've got them. The enforcer surrendered, rifles clattering, Sophie clinging to the puppy, Hope. The payback hit with a chuckle. Ramsey, limping, slipped on a spilled syringe, sprawling into a pile of rusted tools, agents laughing. Nathan's voice was dry, filming. Smooth, Victor. Sarah's voice was resolute, cuffing Ramsey. You're done. Daniel's voice was grim, bandaging his arm, holding Sophie's hand. You're safe, kid. Sophie's voice was soft, stroking Hope. Thank you. They hurt her so bad. At the clinic, Ethan's voice was fierce, stroking Rex's fur. You saved Sophie, Rex, and Hope. Rex's tail thumped, his amber eyes blazing, a warrior's spirit guiding the rescue. Clara's voice was choked, tears streaming. His heart rate steady. He's fighting for you, Ethan. Olivia's voice was resolute, kissing Ethan's forehead. You're his strength, baby. Ethan's voice was clear, eyes distant. Rex says there's another place, more dogs, more bad men. Sarah's radio crackled, a deputy's voice urgent. Walsh, we've got 30 dogs, labs, cages, chemical burns like Rex's. Global Haven's collapsing. Daniel returned, voice grim, holding the ledger. Ramsey named Global Rescue, their international arm, still active. Ethan's voice was fierce, looking at Rex. We'll find them, boy, I promise. Rex's whine was strong, his amber eyes fierce, a bond defying death. The conspiracy gripping Silver Pines was shattering, but Ethan's whisper, Rex sees a city with tall buildings, hinted at a deeper darkness, and their unbreakable connection was the spark to chase it. The Portland docks were a labyrinth of fog and steel, the city's industrial heart pulsing with secrets under a moonless Oregon sky. Detective Sarah Walsh's FBI van screeched through the mist, tires clawing wet asphalt, urgency crackling like a live wire. Sarah, 42, auburn hair matted, police uniform blood-streaked, gripped a scorched tape labeled Haven Directive, her heart pounding. Beside her, Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair disheveled, button-up shirt torn, clutched a ledger, voice grim. Ethan's vision, tall buildings, more dogs. "It's here." Sarah's voice was sharp, eyes on the road. "Global Rescue's last stronghold, a dockside factory. We end this tonight." In Silver Pines, at Dr. Clara Nguyen's veterinary clinic. The air was thick with antiseptic, monitors beeping steadily. Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair tousled, superhero t-shirt faded, sat beside Rex, the German shepherd, black and tan coat scarred, bandages covering chemical burns. Rex's amber eyes, stronger now, followed Ethan, a soft whine escaping. Ethan's voice was tender, stroking Rex's paw. "You're showing us the bad place, Rex. You're my hero." Clara and Gwyn, 40, black hair tied back, veterinarian's blouse crisp, adjusted an IV, voice urgent. "His vitals are stable, Ethan. He's fighting for you." Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair loose, sweater worn, stood nearby, voice choked, clutching Ethan's stuffed dinosaur. "He's alive because of you, baby." Ethan's voice was fierce, eyes distant. Rex sees a city, tall buildings, dogs crying, a man with a red tie. Clara's voice was stunned, pausing. "A man? How's he doing this?" Olivia's voice was shaky, kneeling. "He knew about Sophie, the cannery. Rex is guiding them." Ethan's voice was clear, gripping Rex's paw. "Find the red tie man, Rex. Save the dogs." At the Portland factory, a rusted fortress loomed, Global Rescue's triangle logo scarred on its walls. Sarah killed the engine, voice low, gun drawn. "No mistakes." Daniel clutched the tape, voice tense, flashlight ready. "For Ethan and Rex." Nathan Brooks, 30, blonde hair, tailored vest ripped, stood cuffed, voice raw. "I got Ramsey's codes." "Let me help." Sarah's voice was cold, uncuffing him. "One wrong move, you're done." The team breached the door, air thick with decay and fear, cages rattling faintly in the distance. Sarah's voice was a hiss, leading the way. "Clear!" Footsteps echoed, guiding them to a reinforced vault, logo gleaming. Daniel's voice was urgent, shining his light. "This is it!" Nathan punched in codes, voice trembling. "Ramsey's orders. Everything's here." The vault opened, revealing servers, lab equipment, and a tape. "Rescue orders." Sarah's voice was sharp, loading it. "This names their global head." Daniel grabbed a drive labeled Global Network, voice low. Ethan's vision, dogs, a red tie. Clara's voice crackled through Sarah's radio, frantic from the clinic. "Ethan says a man with a red tie runs it. Dogs are behind a red door." Daniel's heart pounded, voice tense. "Red door, there." A crimson door loomed at the hall's end, dogs' whines seeping through. Sarah's voice was fierce, kicking it open. "FBI, freeze!" The room was a nightmare. Cages stacked, dogs scarred, chemical vats bubbling. A man in a red tie stood, revolver raised, voice cold. "You're too late, Walsh." Sarah's voice was sharp, aiming. "Drop it, Kane!" Marcus Kane, 55, bald, black suit pristine, red tie stark, laughed, voice chilling. "Global Rescue's untouchable. The dogs, test subjects for our empire." 15 enforcers flanked him, rifles raised, faces masked. Victor Ramsey, 50, gray hair, suit torn, stood cuffed beside Ellen Ramsey, 50, auburn hair, coat bloodied, and a trembling Sophie Reed, 8, dark braids, pink coat torn. Ramsey's voice was smug. "You can't stop rescue, Walsh." Daniel's voice was fierce, clutching the ledger. "You tortured Rex Kane. Ethan and Rex led us here." Nathan's voice cracked, stepping forward. "I hid your labs, Kane." "I'm done." Kane's voice was venomous, aiming at Sophie. "Quiet, traitor." Sophie's voice was frantic, clutching a caged puppy. "Hope, don't hurt her." Sarah's voice was sharp, shielding Sophie. "Let the girl go." Rex's influence, through Ethan's visions, pulsed through their defiance. The twist hit like a thunderbolt. Clara's voice roared through the radio, raw. "I worked for Global Haven, Sarah. Vetted their test animals to save my clinic." Sarah's voice was stunned, gun steady. "You helped torture Rex?" Clara's tears cracked through, voice breaking. "They threatened my family. I leaked Ramsey's files to you to stop them." Daniel's voice was sharp, turning. "You knew about the burns and stayed silent?" Clara's voice was fierce, static hissing. "I saved Rex. This ends now." Sarah's voice was resolute, cuffing an enforcer. "Clara's clean. She's our eyes." The ledger, tossed by Eleanor in the last raid, lay open, naming Kane's global clients, corporations, governments. Daniel's voice was urgent, grabbing it. "This buries them." Sophie's voice was fierce, freeing Hope from her cage. "You hurt her!" Kane's voice was desperate, firing at Sarah, the bullet grazing her shoulder. "You're dead!" Nathan dove, tackling an enforcer, voice raw. "No more!" Sarah's voice was sharp, wounding Kane's arm. "Drop it!" FBI agents stormed in, sirens screaming, lights flooding the factory. Daniel's voice was fierce, freeing caged dogs, their whines echoing Ethan's vision. "We've got them." The enforcers surrendered, rifles clattering, Sophie cradling Hope, tears falling. Sarah's voice was grim, cuffing Kane. "You're done, Marcus." Daniel's voice was resolute, bandaging his arm, holding Sophie's hand. "You're safe, kid." Back at the clinic, Ethan's voice was soft, whispering to Rex. "You saved Hope, Rex, and Sophie." Rex's tail thumped, his amber eyes blazing, a warrior's spirit guiding the rescue. Clara's voice was choked, tears streaming. "His vitals are soaring. He's fighting for you, Ethan." Olivia's voice was resolute, kissing Ethan's forehead. "You're his heart, baby." Ethan's voice was clear, eyes distant. "Rex says there's one more place, a ship, dogs locked inside." Sarah's radio crackled, a deputy's voice urgent. "Walsh, we've got 50 dogs, labs, chemical scars, trafficking crates, global rescues collapsing." Daniel returned, voice grim, holding a new journal. "Kane named Global Sanctuary, their overseas arm, shipping dogs from Seattle." Ethan's voice was fierce, looking at Rex. "We'll find them, boy, I promise." Rex's whine was strong, his amber eyes fierce, a bond defying death. The payback hit with a chuckle. Kane, cuffed, tripped over a crate, sprawling into a pile of lab equipment, agents laughing. Nathan's voice was dry, filming. "Graceful, Marcus." Sophie's voice was soft, stroking Hope. "She's free because of Rex." The conspiracy gripping Silver Pines was shattered, but Ethan's whisper, "Rex sees a ship sailing away," hinted at a final darkness, and their unbreakable connection was the spark to chase it. The sun rose over Silver Pines, Oregon, casting golden rays across rolling hills, a stark contrast to the shadows that once gripped the town. Olivia Bennett's farm, reborn as Rex's haven, thrummed with life, its barns adorned with banners proclaiming, "Hope lives here." Ethan Harper, 5, brown hair neatly combed, wore a clean superhero t-shirt, standing at the heart of a vibrant gathering, clutching a small notebook filled with drawings of Rex. Beside him, Rex, the German shepherd, black and tan coat gleaming despite faint scars, sported a medal of valor, amber eyes proud, tail wagging. Ethan's voice rang out, steady but warm. "This is for Rex, my best friend." Olivia Bennett, 35, blonde hair tied back, sweater fresh, stood nearby, tears glistening, voice soft. "You did it, Ethan." Daniel Bennett, 38, brown hair neat, button-up shirt pressed, clapped, a badge of honor pinned to his chest. Dr. Clara Nguyen, 40, black hair loose, veterinarian's blouse crisp, filmed the event, her viral campaign, #RexSaves, now a beacon of justice. Detective Sarah Walsh, 42, auburn hair, police uniform polished, smiled, her investigation complete. Nathan Brooks, 30, blonde hair, vest casual, stood humbly, his redemption earned through testimony. Eleanor Hayes, 65, gray hair pinned, floral dress, watched quietly, her atonement sealed by funding the Haven. Ethan's hand rested on Rex's head, voice thick. "Rex heard me when no one else could. He showed us the truth." Rex's whine was soft, nudging Ethan's leg, a bond forged through walls and pain. Sarah stepped forward, voice clear, addressing the crowd. "Rex's haven is our promise. No animal, no child is silenced by cruelty." Cheers erupted, cameras flashing, signs waving. "Rex for hero." Ethan's voice was warm, kneeling beside Rex. "You saved us all, boy." The global rescue takedown was headline news. Child and miracle dog dismantle international animal trafficking ring. Victor Ramsey, Marcus Kane, and their global network faced life sentences, their empire shattered by the evidence Rex and Ethan uncovered. The ledgers, tapes, and drives exposed a conspiracy trafficking thousands of animals for illegal labs. Rex's survival a testament to their cruelty, inspired by real cases of animal abuse. Ethan's visions, paired with Nathan's codes, sealed their fate, their assets now funding Rex's haven. Clara's voice was steady, stepping to the stage. "Ethan, Rex, you taught us courage is louder than fear." She pinned a medal on Ethan's shirt, voice warm. "Silver Pines is proud." Ethan's voice was soft, shaking his head. "Rex deserves it more." Rex barked, tail wagging, the crowd laughing. Sarah's voice was bright, grinning. "He's the real chief." Nathan's voice was gentle, camera steady. "This is for every caged soul." Ethan addressed the crowd, voice firm. "I was scared, alone in the dark, hearing Rex cry. He trusted me, and you trusted us. This haven is for him, for every animal who needs a voice." He knelt, stroking Rex, voice choked. "You never gave up, boy. Neither will we." Cheers roared, Olivia's voice joining, wiping tears. "For Ethan and Rex." The Haven's barns, built for rescued animals and community healing, stood as a testament to their fight. The twist hit like a shockwave. An older woman approached, 55, gray hair streaked with auburn, coat worn, holding a faded letter. "Ethan?" she asked, voice trembling. "I'm Ellen Reed, Sophie's grandmother." Ethan's breath caught, voice shaky. "Sophie's grandma?" Ellen's tears fell, voice breaking. "I worked for Global Sanctuary, their overseas arm, bookkeeping to save my daughter. Your fight, Rex's courage, brought Sophie back." This letter, Sophie's, names Sanctuary's last cell coded for Berlin. Sarah's voice was sharp, pocketing it. "Berlin? Where?" Ellen handed the letter, voice firm. "Project Apex, trafficking exotics. They're still active." Daniel's voice was tense, checking his phone. "For Rex, we keep going." Clara's voice was fierce, filming. "The world's watching, Ethan." Eleanor's voice was soft, touching Ethan's shoulder. "Rex led us here. He'll guide us forward. Rex's bark was strong, amber eyes locked on Ethan, a hero ready for the next battle. Ethan stood, voice clear. Silver Pines was dark, but Rex's cries, your love, lit the way. Rex's haven is our stand. Every life, every voice matters. He knelt, stroking Rex, voice choked. You're my heart, boy. The crowd roared, cameras flashing, Clara streaming live. For Rex, for hope. Olivia's voice was warm, hand on Ethan's shoulder. You're never alone, sweetie. Nathan's voice was bright, smiling. And Rex runs the show. Months later, Rex's haven thrived, a sanctuary for scarred animals and a beacon for justice. Ethan and Olivia at its helm, their bond a new family. Rex, scars fading, bounded daily with Ethan, his instincts razor sharp. A new file surfaced, coded Project Apex, hinting at Global Sanctuary's lingering shadow. Ethan's voice was firm, petting Rex under the pines. We'll find them, boy. Together. The crowd dispersed, the haven quiet, but hope lingered. Sarah's voice echoed, truth breaks walls. Rex proved it. Ethan walked with Rex, steps steady, silver pines reborn around them, a testament to their fight. The message was clear. Courage and love could topple empires, and one boy's bond with his dog could light the world. To everyone watching, Ethan and Rex's story is about loyalty, bravery, and the unbreakable bond between a child and his dog, shattering a global cruelty ring with heart. Share your story of a loyal pet in the comments. What moment showed their soul? Subscribe to Pawprints of Hope, join our community, and keep these stories alive. Stories like Rex's proving heroes don't need words, just a bark to change everything.